Hey, you guys. I am here with Miss Shelley Hancock. She has been doing lots of things in the skincare space, and she even has a book out, if I saw that correctly. But let Miss Shelley introduce herself and tell you about herself. Go for it.
Hi, thank you so much for having me on. This is an honor. It's really an honor. Oh my goodness. So 38 years I've been in this industry. I started back in 19, I'm not going to go year by year, I promise.
That's
Started
totally
way,
fine.
got my license back in 1988.
Wow.
How I came about being in this industry is I actually got a job at a dermatology office doing computer work. And literally the third day I was there, the dermatologist tapped me on my shoulder and he said, "You know what? I really need a back office assistant. Can I train you to be my assistant?" Now, what an opportunity. Like, what an opportunity. And I didn't have to think about it at all. Went home and got white slacks and white shoes. The next morning, they gave me a white lab coat, and I'm feeling really official. I knew absolutely nothing about. So I did know that I wasn't fond of needles, and I'm sure there was needles going to be happening somewhere. But this is a funny story. That very first day, girls in the front office said, "Just go back and observe the doctor. He's doing a procedure back in treatment room number 3. Just go back and observe." And I'm like, cool, I can observe. I can do that. So I kind of saunter on back to treatment room number 3 and I open the door and he's doing a liposuction on a woman's stomach.
Oh, no.
I can see the fat going through the tube. And I'm like, hyperventilating, and somebody escorted me out of the room before I hit the floor.
It sounds like me. I can't even get a paper cut without fainting.
I thought, could it maybe have been a pimple popping or a mole removal or, something a little easier on my first day? But boy, I just went right into it. And I did really love that job. And he actually had an esthetician in his office, which back in actually this was 1987. That was unheard of back then. Most people didn't even know what an esthetician was, right? If you
Yeah.
said you were an esthetician back then, they would go, "Oh, you put people to sleep for surgeries." No, that would be an anesthesiologist.
Yeah. Oh no.
I watched her interact with the patients, and they seemed to really love her. She loved what she was doing, and I'm like, I want that. I want that job. How do I get that job? And that's when I learned, and I quit. Went to school for 4 months, got my license, and when I came out of school, I went back to work in medical offices because that's what I knew.
Right.
And 18 months later, I bought my first spa. Um, like
Whoa, right off the bat. Right. You
just
get certified and you totally threw yourself in it. Okay. Do
I
you work
did.
better under pressure?
I think I do.
Yeah.
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 Give my whole story. You know what? It's the first time anybody's ever asked me that. And I just had an aha moment.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you. Yeah, so I bought this spa and there I sat. I mean, I never had any college background. I'd barely been an esthetician. I'd only worked in medical offices, but here I sat with a little spa with 4 treatment rooms. And I had to figure it out on my own because we didn't have the internet back then. We
Yeah.
didn't have, you didn't weren't connected to people so much. You couldn't just look things up.
Hmm.
I'll be darned if I didn't grow that business to be very successful. And I don't know if it was just sheer passion, just I drive that I was going to succeed,
Yeah.
or if it was naivety, being young and just not knowing I was supposed to be afraid. But I was never.
Wow. I like how you said that. Okay. Okay. Hmm.
I always talk about that when I go to schools and speak. I love to go to aesthetic schools and speak and tell my story. I always talk about not being afraid.
Hmm.
I've listened to too many estheticians that have been held back from doing what they want to do because, oh, I'm too afraid. I'm
Hmm.
afraid. Just go for it. If you fall down, you get up and go another direction. It's never going to be that bad. You know.
Right. Right. Yeah.
Yeah, so let's see.
So you
Who
went
that
in there. So you went in there absolutely fearless. And you're like, it's either sink or swim, and I'm not sinking. And so, okay, so now fast forward to today, now
Mhm.
you have this book. Now what are you doing? Now what is this?
Yeah.
What is your mark, I guess?
Well, I mean, I grew that business until 2005, and then I just got tired and I sold it. And I kind
Okay.
of floundered for a few years. I didn't know what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
Trying a little of this, a little of that. I knew I wanted to stay in the industry, but I was kind of losing my passion.
Mm.
You'll be able to attest to this. It's a lot when you own your own business. There's a lot of
Oh my
hats you
goodness.
wear.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah. So
100%.
sold it. That was a whole lesson in and of itself, selling
Always.
a business, right?
Always.
And then I started, aesthetic equipment was really becoming big at that time. And I was really attracted to the technologies, the modalities, and started getting them, using them on clients. And then I started telling other estheticians about it, and they would go buy these pieces of equipment. And after a while, I was like, wait a minute, I have a business here.
Mm-hmm.
So I started calling these companies that I was sending people over to, explaining, who I was, how long I'd been in this industry. And I wasn't asking for a job. I was just asking for a little something, something.
Yeah.
I sent somebody their way. And they
Yeah.
weren't sure what to do with me, but one by one, they all started kind of coming aboard. And this whole mentoring thing just kind of grew. And before I know it, I opened a training center in Foster City, California.
I got chills right now. What? All because you like picked up the phone and was like, "Hey, I've been helping you, so repay me." Wow, that is so cool. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, and it was just so much fun. We had a huge room that could fit about 48 estheticians in it for trainings. And then I had two treatment rooms. So I hired an esthetician and she worked on clients. And then people in the industry would come rent my room on the weekends and Mondays, to give classes. And it was just beautiful. It was real fun. It was a
Mhm.
great time.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm
Mm,
loving that.
but then I get the phone call from the owners of the building that they're tearing it down and building apartment buildings. And I was like, no, I thought this was my home forever. I was super
Yeah.
happy there, right? Oh, I just up and moved down to Orange County, midlife crisis, maybe, who knows? And I opened up another training school down there.
Okay.
Yep. And
Okay.
when I was down there, while I'm running this training school down there, I get a phone call from Voice America, which is a radio show.
Okay.
Hi, Shelley. This is Winston from Voice America. I'd like to talk to you about being a radio show host. I'm like, Winston, like this was the first, this has never entered my mind ever, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he just said, hey, I have a crew of people that look at YouTube videos and watch people and see what their message is, and we just really liked you. We want you to be a radio show host. And so by the end of the conversation, Shelley's Show and Tell radio show was born.
Wait, but you like they literally just called you out of the blue, or were you like friends with this guy? Like, how did they find you?
Never out of the blue, just from my YouTube videos.
Oh
You
my
can see
goodness.
this pattern of things just happening. And if
Yeah.
I had let fear take over at any time, I wouldn't have all the experiences
Exactly.
I had in my 38 years.
Exactly. This is so golden. Yeah, a lot of estheticians that I've worked with, they are terrified. I had one girl, and she will always forever stick in my mind. She was booking clients for on her first day, like selling retail, booking clients, working out fabulously. She was like doing her thing. The next day, as soon as she walked in, she told me, "Hey, I got to talk to you." And we would go to the back room, and she talks to me, and she bursts into tears saying, "I can't talk to people." I said, "What?" Oh, she goes, "I gotta go." Okay. I was stunned. Oh, okay. Bye. Like it was crazy.
Oh,
What do you think, Shelly?
it's like she jumped and then she realized where she jumped and like, oh no, I can't do this. But you just did it.
Yes.
And then she just let fear completely take over.
Come, yeah.
Wow.
Killed me.
Um,
Very talented esthetician. And I've had a couple experiences like that, but never quite that extreme. And I'm just like, okay, girl. So to hear this, your story, so fearless, That is so inspiring for anybody listening, like at all. Like it doesn't even matter if you're in this industry or not. That's great. I love it.
Well, that's it for anybody, right?
Yeah.
To
Yeah.
definitely. And things don't always have to be perfect before you move forward. There's been many times when I'm mentoring estheticians who are getting their business started. Oh no, I can't open my doors yet because my menu's not perfect. You know, people don't even really look at those menus.
Mm,
You know, you're the authority listening to what you have to say.
exactly.
You know? Oh, and here's
Exactly.
this story just popped into my head. For me in this industry, it's really more about the connection
Mm,
with people than it
mhm,
is the book smarts. I
mhm.
mean, we need to know all the stuff,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Example, when I owned my big day spa, I rented rooms out to estheticians
Mhm.
and they could decorate their room any way that
Yeah.
they wanted to. So this one gal came in and she had certificates from classes she had taken. And I would say there was probably 50 on each wall. Like you couldn't even see what the paint color was. So many
She had
certificates on the
so
wall.
many. Oh
He
my.
was book smart, and I was extremely intimidated. Like, oh my goodness. I've
Yeah.
never been like a book. I mean, I know what I need to know, but I've never been real book smart. I don't dive in super, super deep.
Mhm.
So she really intimidated me. But do you know she only lasted there for 3 months? Because she could not connect with people. I watched it over the 3 months. There was no warmth. There was no, it was just like, I know this thing, I know this thing. And she's finding things that she knows. And that's not our industry.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Okay,
Whether
so
you not know it,
yeah.
connect with the client and tell them, I'll find it out for you, whatever the
Right.
question is.
Right. Just be real and raw and honest. Like what should spa and salon leaders, how do we inspire these estheticians, these beauty pros? How do we inspire them to just do it, to just go out and do it? How do we do that for
So that's
them?
us, like, coming from us, them
Yeah.
watching us just doing it, them watching us interact with those clients in the natural way we interact.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the first thing. And I think that's why I like to share my story at
Yeah.
schools
Yeah.
because they can sit there and watch them. Well, here's this lady did this. Okay, if this lady can do it, I can do it too.
Right.
You know,
Okay.
so I
Okay.
think salon owners, all owners have been through something.
Mm-hmm.
So sharing their story with their employees, I think, is really important. We
Mm-hmm.
might look at this owner as they're just here and they just got here
Yeah.
with the history, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So what do you feel is maybe your biggest struggle or your biggest failure you've ever gone through, personal or professional? I know those are two different things, but kind of combined it here.
You know, I feel very blessed. I never had any failures in business that almost took me out.
Mm,
I'm going to call them faux pas.
okay. I love
And back
that.
when I first bought that business back in 19, well, I bought it in 1990. I wasn't there but a couple of months, and some sales guy comes walking into the office,
Yeah.
super high, and he started telling me about this advertising that all the businesses in town were doing. And he was talking kind of in this, like they're talking really fast, and I was
Uh-huh.
new. I was really new to this, and I was getting really caught up in this guy's. Well, if you don't do this, your business is never going to make it. And
Mm-hmm.
everybody else around here is doing this. So before I knew it, I was signing on the dotted line for it was $950. It's not a ton of money, but back
Mm-hmm.
then when I just bought a business, I'm just getting
Right.
started,
Right.
that was a ton of money to me.
Yeah.
Here's what the advertising was. Do you know, yeah, they're still doing this to this day, I believe. If you go to the drugstore or the grocery store and you
Uh-huh.
check out and you get your receipt, right?
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Did you know that there was advertisement on the back of that receipt?
Oh no. Yes, that's what this was. Oh.
What it was. And what made me think that everybody was doing this and this was the best thing ever. I never stopped and said, can I have the names of some of the businesses and call them. I call it getting caught up. I just got caught up in his energy. oh yeah, I better do this.
Yeah.
And so I always tell estheticians when you go to the trade shows, don't get caught up. You're going to get in that booth and they're going to smooth talk you and they're going to make it feel like if you walk out of that booth and you go out with this piece of equipment or this product, you're going to lose, you know?
Hmm.
Don't get caught up.
Yeah.
It's
Ooh,
very
that's
easy.
good. That's very good. That is very good. So what, okay. So in your 38 years, there's a lot of hustle. There's a lot of, let's see what happens here. Let's see what happens there. How do, how have you nourished yourself as a beauty pro?
Ooh, yeah. I think we forgot to do that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I remember back in the day, my now late husband, he's passed away, but sitting me down one day and just saying, we need to have a little talk. You know, you're just working way too much, but I enjoyed it so much. It was so
Yeah.
much fun and it didn't feel like work to me. But I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, I gotta take that one last phone call. It's 7 o'clock. I'll be off and just,
Hmm.
that kind of stuff. Um,
Yeah.
um, so I think we forget we don't even go get facials ourselves, right? We do it on
Right.
ourselves.
Yeah, we're the ones doing it while we're doing another one on somebody else. Like, come here, sit down. Let me just do this. You got some lymph. It's true. Okay, so what's a common myth that you get about what you do and your career that you've had?
I think way back in the day, before it was a common thing, right? It was
Hmm.
more about, oh, you just pop pimples, because it was more about the acne way back then than it really was about the anti-aging. So we were
Hmm.
just pimple poppers, right?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, we're just doing fluff, right? And we
Right.
aren't. We're more
No.
educated than that. Um, we're very creative people, I think, estheticians.
Absolutely. Absolutely. 100%.
Yeah. So yeah, yeah, we're just rubbing creams on people.
Yeah,
That's kind
creams.
of a myth that.
Yeah. Yeah. What I've heard is, oh, you're just washing people's faces all day long. You're just it's just soap. Oh. Okay. Thanks, guys. No.
No. Industry has changed so much since when I started. When I started, the only piece of equipment was a steamer. That was it. Liquid version hadn't even come out. So the only thing was a steamer. And if you had aromatherapy in your steamer, then you were high tech.
Whoa. Whoa. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Now we have all the things, even like
Oh,
red light therapy and microdermabrasion. How do you feel about all the new technology? Like it's good, but it's like, is it really? Like, tell us.
yeah. I love the technology. I've been some people that follow me call me the gadget gal or the machine queen, but I just have so much fun with it. I play on my clients and seeing what I can accomplish with it.
Yeah.
Conversation with somebody yesterday that really hit me, made a lot of sense. We're talking about getting back to a good old fashioned facial massage for the lymphatic drainage, for all of that. You know, I've gotten away from that because I'm using all of the equipment.
Mm.
And also the touch,
Mm-hmm.
right? People come to us for touch.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought right then and there, I was like, oh, I need to get back to a little bit of a combination of both.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I love that a lot, actually, because you're saying that, and I was just having a conversation yesterday, how whether it's skin or hair, it's almost like back in the day, like the golden age, right? Of hairdressing and skincare. It was the pyramid at the top was clients first, right? And then yourself. And then I feel like today that pyramid has flipped where it's all about me first and then everybody else. What do you think about that?
It's not something I've ever really thought of before. That's interesting. Why are you feeling it's like the hairdressers and the estheticians are saying me first? What are you seeing that's making you feel that?
Like the service is not up to par because
Mm,
these beauty professionals are all like, well, I am a professional and inflated egos, more
okay.
like, okay, and then the service is not like back to basics. It's not. It's all using all this high tech stuff. The client is like, confused. They don't know what just happened. And they're like, okay, $500, please. And you're like, what? What just happened? Wait a minute.
Pricing. Oof.
Yeah.
It's kind of gotten a little bit
And
outrageous, I
okay, so
feel like.
then, yeah, then there's that. What do you think? What's happening? What's going wrong?
That's interesting. How you just asked me about what's a common myth and how people just think we rub cream on people's
Hmm.
faces.
Hmm.
And I feel like some of the younger estheticians coming out of school, I mean, it could be any age group, but they're younger
Yeah.
estheticians coming out of school.
Yeah.
They've been taught differently that what we do is so worth it, that they come out with that little bit of ego thing, like you're talking about there,
Hmm.
and expecting to make a lot of money right away when they don't have any experience behind them. And
Hmm.
then, yeah, the treatments maybe aren't up to par as
Yeah.
what we've seen in years past. That's interesting. Yeah, I hadn't sat and thought about that, but
Yeah. Yeah. Like I don't know I think the whole world is just on its head.
this
What
is
is,
true.
yeah. What is your favorite insult that you've ever gotten that you just love that you got it because now it's like your driving force?
Oh my gosh. You ask some great questions. Like, not like from a client, like just insult from
Yeah, like
somebody.
anybody, anything. Like it doesn't matter.
My gosh, I'm going completely blank. I'm sure I've been insulted. I just it goes out of my brain. I don't want to live
Sure.
with that. With
No,
that,
no, I get it.
I can't even. Isn't that terrible?
Okay, okay. We'll come back to it. If you think of something, we'll talk about it.
Okay,
But
okay.
but let me see. What do you think the industry will look like 3 years from now, 5 years from now?
Mm, the biggest change I've seen is that the public can get anything anywhere
Mm.
online. They're just buying up for really inexpensive pieces of equipment and
Mm.
using them on themselves, not knowing how to use the equipment, if the equipment's the right piece of equipment for them, for their skin, for their
Mm.
issues. I even see estheticians just going for, oh, well, I can get it cheaper here. I'm going to get the knockoff one because it's cheaper. I had such issues throughout years with talking to people about knockoff pieces of equipment, and there's been so many times that an esthetician who knows me knows that they can trust me. Well, they go and buy the cheap knockoff one, and then they call me afterwards, and I can actually hear their tail between their legs saying, Shelley, I got it, and it doesn't really even look anything like the one that you sell. And, we're just looking so much at money, not at what we can do with something, what we can offer our clients. And then the public is just looking at, oh, I don't need to go to an esthetician. I can just do this for cheaper on myself.
Right.
And I'm sure dermatologists are having people come in with burns and, scarring
Yeah.
and all sorts of stuff.
Yeah. Okay, for the estheticians listening and watching to this episode, what advice can you give them who want to work at med spas or dermatologist office or just be more on the medical side of things?
Well, I think things have really changed since years ago when I started. I got blessed that I got an education without even going to school. So I'm not
Yeah.
exactly sure how the doctor's offices and the med spas are
Mm-hmm.
doing it now.
Mm-hmm.
But I would educate yourself, not
Mm-hmm.
maybe 50 certificates on each wall, but you know, I would educate yourself if you're wanting to go into the medical end of it.
Yeah.
Um, and again, I think even there, it's just all about the way you present yourself when you go in for that interview. And, you know, I've had to do some interviewing in the last few years, and whew, some of them are like, how do you do skincare with your nails, 3 inches long? I don't get that. And maybe I'm old school and old, but
I love that. Thank you. Thank you for saying that. What do you have going on right now that people can connect with you further or just talk to you, pick your brain? What do you how do the listeners and watchers, how do they get in contact with you?
Yes. Please, one of my favorite things throughout the industry, everybody's always said to me, "You're so accessible, Shelley." Or I'll pick the phone up when they call and I'm like, "Hi, this is Shelley." And they'll be like, "Oh, this is the Shelley?" And I'm like, "Yeah." They're not expecting, right?
That's cute.
So, my newest project is aestheticsuccess.com.
Hmm.
It's a website where I am bringing on all of my trusted resources that I've known for many, many, many years in this industry. And I'm putting them all together on a website. And when you go there, you can reach out to that person. I've vetted them. That I've worked with them for so many years. I'm going to become the connector for everybody
Love
else.
that.
So you don't have to do the legwork of figuring out if it's a good company to work with, if it's a good piece of equipment.
Hmm.
You can come, there and know you can trust anything that's there. And then I finished the book named the same thing. And this is my full journey. Every little story that just you can dive deep into, and it's just things I've learned along the way.
I love that.
Yeah,
We're gonna have those links in the show notes for everybody to get because I don't, for me personally, I don't know why this is, but like as far as like skincare is concerned, I do feel like the resources are very difficult to get a hold of. So
yeah.
for you to have this website and this book all in one place, that is a beautiful thing.
Thank you.
You're
It's
welcome.
fun to get away from sales and all that. I really kind of just, I'm 65 now.
Baby,
Oh,
you look fabulous.
thank you. It's just time to be kind of a resource and a help for others. So there is a phone number on my website, and I will answer the phone. And yes, please reach out to me.
Absolutely. Okay, so just a couple more questions. So
Okay.
okay, being in this industry for so long, dealing with people, clients and other professionals, what has been your learning lesson that you've gotten that you wish other people would just connect with and learn too?
Well, we're the authorities, and
Hmm.
sometimes people think the word is a word or it's a rough word. No, we're the authorities, and people come to us for that reason. So we have to present ourselves that way, other than presenting ourselves, well, would you like to come back for your next appointment? Or no, they want to be, I think by telling stories, just a story about when I moved to a new town once, a hairdresser. He sat me down beforehand, talked to me about, what I liked as far as the style of my hair and the color and that kind of stuff. And then while he was doing my hair, I liked the way his stance, right? He seemed like he was very confident as he was cutting my hair. And then under his breath, he said, "Oh, blah, blah, blah product would be really good for your hair." But it was like almost note to self, right? He didn't
Yeah.
say it real loud, but I heard him. And so I'm like, he
Yeah,
felt like an
yeah.
authority to me. So I was, let me just fix my camera here.
Uh,
So we got up to check out and pay him and everything. And he was just checking me out and making my next appointment. I'm like, well, wait a minute. What about that product that you said something about while you were cutting my hair? See, I grabbed on to
mm,
that
mm.
authority. And then I don't know, maybe that was a sales tactic. Right? I don't know. But it worked. It
Nice.
worked and I felt comfortable with them. And that's what I want estheticians to do is lead with knowing that they're the authority.
Hmm. I love it. Okay. Now, coming to a close, what is one question that I did not ask you that you wish I would have, and how would you have answered?
Throw them out there, don't you, girl?
I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry.
So when I keep, when I talk to estheticians that aren't necessarily in schools,
Hmm.
but they've been out there in the industry, I always ask them, are you having fun doing what you're doing?
Oh, that's a good one.
Audience, I always go, I want to, your hand should go right up.
Yeah.
Because I feel like for 38 years, I've had fun. And I feel like that's why I've been successful. And just because I thoroughly enjoyed, it's not like every morning, "Oh, I gotta go in there again." You know,
Yeah.
I'm more like, it's gonna happen today. It's a
Yeah.
curiosity. It's a curiosity. So
Yeah. I like
yeah.
that. Yeah. Are you having fun today? Ooh, I'm gonna write that on my mirror. All right, Miss Shelley. So we're gonna have
Mm,
those links to your book, to your website. If you're an esthetician listening or watching, you need to connect with Shelley. Like this woman is a golden treasure chest of knowledge. So thank you for coming on the Beauty Pro podcast.
blast. Appreciate it so much.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you guys for listening. We'll see you next time.